A spark ignited, the prelude to revolution. The year was 1835, and the land known as Texas, then a part of Mexico, simmered with discontent. The vast territory, sparsely populated by settlers primarily from the United States, felt increasingly estranged from the distant Mexican government. The Battle of Gonzales, though brief, became the symbolic spark that ignited the Texas Revolution. Mexican President Antonio López de Santa Anna's centralized government sparked anxieties among the Texians, who feared the loss of their autonomy. The settlers felt their rights were being infringed upon, and the Mexican government viewed the Texians as rebellious. The spark came in the form of a small cannon, provided to the settlers of Gonzales in 1831 for defense. By 1835, the Mexican government ordered the cannon returned. This demand became the catalyst for the first armed conflict of the Texas Revolution. The stage was set for a confrontation that would change the course of history. The Mexican government, under General Antonio López de Santa Anna, viewed the Texians' refusal to return the cannon as rebellion. Santa Anna dispatched Colonel Domingo de Ugartequia to retrieve the cannon. Ugartequia approached Gonzales with Mexican soldiers. The citizens of Gonzales were determined to resist. They saw the cannon as essential for protection and viewed the demand as an infringement on their rights. Led by John Henry Moore and Joseph Washington Elliott, the Texians prepared for confrontation. They fortified their positions and rallied support. Gonzales was about to become the first battleground of the Texas Revolution. The Texians buried the cannon, hiding it from Ugartequia's troops. This act of defiance infuriated the Mexican commander, who demanded surrender. The Texians were not intimidated. Reinforcements arrived, bolstering their numbers. The stage was set for a showdown marking the beginning of the Texas Revolution. Gonzales was about to become a symbol of Texian resistance. Colonel Domingo de Ugartequia, a seasoned military officer, found himself in an increasingly difficult position. Tasked with retrieving the cannon and asserting Mexican authority, he faced growing resistance from the Texians. His initial attempts to negotiate the cannon's return were met with defiance. The Texians' refusal to comply with his orders placed Ugartequia in a precarious situation. He was caught between his duty to enforce the Mexican government's demands and the escalating tensions on the ground. Ugartequia, a man of honor and a respected officer, was reluctant to engage in open conflict with the Texians. He hoped to resolve the situation peacefully and avoid bloodshed. However, the Texians' continued defiance and the arrival of reinforcements from surrounding settlements made a peaceful resolution increasingly unlikely. Ugartequia found himself trapped between his desire to avoid violence and the need to uphold his orders. The situation was rapidly spiraling towards a confrontation. Facing growing resistance, Ugartequia decided to establish a position across the Guadalupe River from Gonzales. His troops, numbering around 100 men, camped on the opposite bank, awaiting further instructions. The river, swollen by recent rains, served as a temporary barrier between the Mexican forces and the determined Texians. The tense standoff continued, with both sides preparing for the possibility of a clash. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation. As the days passed, the Texians continued to strengthen their defenses. They dug trenches, erected barricades, and positioned their newly unearthed cannon, ready to defend their town. A homemade flag, emblazoned with the image of the cannon and the defiant words "Come and take it," flew proudly over their makeshift fortifications. The message was clear. The Texians would not surrender their cannon without a fight. The stage was set for a confrontation that would mark the beginning of the Texas Revolution. On the morning of October 2, 1835, the tension reached its breaking point. Under the cover of darkness, a small group of Texians, led by Joseph Washington Elliott and accompanied by the newly unearthed cannon, crossed the Guadalupe River. Their mission was to provoke the Mexican troops and initiate the fight. The Texians, numbering around 150 men, were determined to defend their town and their right to self-determination. The first shots of the Texas Revolution were about to be fired. As dawn broke, the Texians opened fire on the Mexican camp. The small cannon, loaded with scrap metal and nails, roared to life, sending a shower of makeshift projectiles towards the surprised Mexican soldiers. The Mexican troops, caught off guard, scrambled to respond. The battle, though brief and involving relatively few casualties, had begun. The quiet morning air was shattered by the sounds of gunfire. The Mexican soldiers, outnumbered and outgunned, quickly retreated. The Texians, emboldened by their initial success, pursued the retreating Mexicans, driving them back across the Guadalupe River. The battle, which lasted only a few hours, was a decisive victory for the Texians. The first shots of the Texas Revolution had been fired, and the Texians had emerged victorious. The small town of Gonzales had become a symbol of Texian resistance. The Battle of Gonzales, though a minor military engagement, held immense symbolic significance. It marked the beginning of the Texas Revolution, a struggle for independence that would ultimately lead to the creation of the Republic of Texas. The Texians' victory at Gonzales instilled a sense of confidence and unity among the colonists, bolstering their resolve to resist Mexican rule. The battle had ignited the spark of revolution. The victory at Gonzales, though small in scale, had a profound impact on the morale of the Texians. It demonstrated their willingness to fight for their rights and their determination to resist Mexican rule. The news of the Texian victory spread rapidly throughout the settlements, inspiring others to join the cause of independence. The small skirmish at Gonzales had become a rallying cry for the Texas Revolution. The Battle of Gonzales marked a turning point in the relationship between the Texians and the Mexican government. It signaled the end of peaceful negotiations and the beginning of armed conflict. The Texians, emboldened by their victory, began to organize and prepare for a larger struggle against Mexican rule. The battle had drawn a line in the sand. The victory at Gonzales also had international implications. It drew attention to the struggle for independence in Texas and garnered support from sympathizers in the United States. The news of the Texian victory reached American shores, where many viewed the Texian struggle as a continuation of their own fight for liberty. The battle had placed the Texas Revolution on the world stage. The legacy of the Battle of Gonzales extends far beyond the immediate aftermath of the skirmish. It is remembered as the first battle of the Texas Revolution, the symbolic spark that ignited a movement for independence. The come-and-take-it flag, a symbol of Texian defiance, continues to be a powerful reminder of the courage and determination of those who fought for Texas independence. The battle remains a pivotal moment in Texas history. The Battle of Gonzales was more than just a skirmish over a small cannon. It was a symbolic act of defiance that resonated throughout Texas and beyond. It represented the Texians' refusal to be governed by a distant and increasingly authoritarian regime. The battle served as a catalyst for the Texas Revolution, transforming a simmering discontent into open rebellion. The battle's significance lies not in its military scale, but in its symbolic power. It demonstrated the Texians' resolve to fight for their rights and their willingness to take up arms against Mexican rule. The victory at Gonzales, though small, instilled a sense of confidence and unity among the colonists, fueling their determination to achieve independence. The Battle of Gonzales marked a decisive break between the Texians and the Mexican government. It signaled the end of peaceful negotiations and the beginning of armed conflict. The battle forced both sides to choose a path, and the choice made at Gonzales would shape the future of Texas. The Battle of Gonzales remains a powerful symbol of Texan courage and determination. It is celebrated as the first battle of the Texas Revolution, a pivotal moment in the state's history. The battle serves as a reminder of the sacrifices made by those who fought for Texas independence and the enduring legacy of their struggle. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.